What's up guys, Twitchy here, back with another tutorial for ARK Server Manager. I hope you guys are having a really good day. I'm having a really good day hanging out here trying to get this tutorial working. Today we're going to be going over the supply crate overrides. And I gotta tell you guys, this one has taken me a little bit to wrap my brain around. The loot system in ARK, not that it's overly complicated, but there's so much random stuff that gets put into place with it that it's kind of difficult to tweak as you want it to be tweaked, and there's a couple different reasons for that, and we will go over those here in a moment. First, I want to get into the ARK wiki here and just look at the beacons and explain a couple things. So the loot system in ARK, if you come here to this page and the beacon page in the wiki, you can see a breakdown of the supply crates, what you get or can possibly get in the supply crates, and basically how they're laid out. Alright, and each one of them has a little description, guys. This is a very important thing to read if you're trying to set up your supply crates to mimic what ARK does, just make them better. You know, in cases like Scorched Earth, where if you're only playing Scorched Earth and you go to a red drop and you get something that can only be applied in the regular game, it gets annoying. You know, you go to a deep sea loot crate, you pick up scuba gear. You're on Scorched Earth. What are you gonna do? Put on scuba gear to like swim 3 feet down in the water? But you know, if you're facing those kind of situations and you want to get in and basically override what the supply crates have, but you want to mimic what ARK does with their loot tables, this is a really good place to come and kind of understand. So what we'll do is we're just going to go over the white beacon drop here, really quick like. Now each of the drops has a possibility to be a double drop, meaning that you get more stuff. The white drop, in this case, if it was a single drop, you would get one of several groups, and only one though. You're either going to get stuff from the campsite, the clothing, the weapons, resources, small shanty shack, furniture, or saddles. Now, each of these groups, like campsite, then is broken down into groups as well. So its own might only have one thing in each grouping, but that's kind of like where that is. So you're not going to get like everything out of this when you open up a supply crate. You might get just a couple things out of this. So it's kind of weird. Campfire's in its own group, spark powder's in its own group, water skin's in its own group, hide's in its own group, hide sleeping bag. Mixture of berries, right, and their weights are here. So you might get this little grouping, or you might get something out of this little grouping. So when you're looking down through here, you see the mixture of berries. We're going to go over this one since it's got the percentages. Okay. If you get, oh, I don't know, 12 berries, or, you know, 12 items out of it, because you can get 10 to 30, you're going to get a mixture of these items at a 50% weight, 16.7% weight, 16.6% weight. All right. So more than likely you're going to get more meat than you do berries, and the amount of these does not break down exactly like you would think it would. So like if you get 12 berries, you would think, well, I'm definitely going to get 6 meats because of its weight. It doesn't really work that way. Like if you had 100 items, you're not going to get 25, 25, 25, 25. You're going to get, you know, 52, 20, you know, and they're going to be mixed that way. Down in the next little grouping, you've got a chance to get blueprints. All right, so you're going to get one of these items possibly, and it's got a 25% chance of being a blueprint. So that is just the campsite group. When you get a double drop, a double white drop, you are going to get stuff out of 2 different groups possibly, and go from there. All right, so that is basically just a really quick overview of how the loot system kind of works. And I say kind of works because there's other things that come into play here, one of which being quality, and we'll go over the quality here in a little while. But for right now, just think of these as all groups with sublayers or subgroups or whatever. So you got White Beacon. White Beacon has, what, 7 7 groups, and each of those groups has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll see, these all have 6. I think these all have 6, and then this is 2. All right, so groups within groups within groups. Fun times. So what I've done is here in ARK Server Manager, I've went ahead and mimicked the white drop. So you can see the white drop, I've made all of those little groupings, right? I've given them all a min-max of you can get this many to this many. And then in the other groupings, right? So we got small shanty shack. It's got the thatch walls and door frames and the blueprint. And go down. Let's go down. All right. And you can see if I have the foundation selected, it's going to give me the item foundation there. So let's go over some of these numbers while we have this open. And some of these numbers are easy, and some of these numbers are a little bit more difficult. And the only reason I say that is when we get to quality. But for right now, the white beacon, the small, well, let's go to campsite. The campsite, right? If the white beacon is picked up, you are going to get a minimum amount of sets of 1 and a maximum amount of sets of 1. So the single white drop, you're going to get 1 of these sets. So in campsite, I say a min-max of 6 because there's 6 different little groupings. And then down in here, when we start putting in these groupings, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So spark powder, if it's selected, which we saw in the wiki, you can get between 2 or 6. So you put 2 in as the minimum, 6 in as the maximum. Qualities, there are no qualities for spark powder, so it's not a big deal. The weight is 1, meaning that's 100% basically. No blueprint, no blueprint. Okay, you can force it and it will give you a blueprint, or you can change the percentage here and it'll give you a blueprint. All right, so percentage chance would be, if we wanted to 50% of the time get a blueprint, we put in 0.5, be good to go there. You can see the water skin and the sleeping bags. Now, when you get down into meat and berries, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So we know that we're going to be able to get 10 to 30 in the meat and the berries. All right, no blueprints involved here, but then when you come down into the actual items, you can see I've changed the weights. Right, so 50% chance, 16.7% chance, and one of these I messed up on, and I should actually have it at 16.6, according to the wiki. Alright, so we're going to click save on that so I don't mess up anything else. So these are all things that don't have qualities. And so like the blueprint for the campsite blueprints, you can see here, I've done the same basic thing. It's got a 25% weight, and it's got a going to be 100% chance of being a blueprint. But yeah, like I said, these are all things that do not have qualities. And quality is where this becomes an issue, because there's so many things in ARK that play into the quality of your stuffs, right? So like on saddles, right here, the min-max quality, like basically if I get a saddle out of this crate, it's going to be, because it's a white crate, it's going to be primitive. Pretty much that's where it's at. And you would think that if we would say 1 to 2, right, that we could change that quality. And that is true to some points, because if you come here and look, all right, at this other item quality sheet here on the wiki, you can see that 1 is primitive, 1.25 is ramshackle, 2.5 is apprentice, 4.5 is journeyman, 7 is mastercraft, 10 is ascendant. So you would think if I want, you know, journeyman, I could just put 4.5 in for the min, 4.5 in for the max. Well, it doesn't really work that way. You're not going to 100% of the time get journeyman if you do that. And that is due to how ARK does their item quality generation. And I know this is kind of like boring, guys, so I apologize for that. There's like I said, a lot of things that go into play here. The arbitrary quality basically randomized quality, and these are pretty much randoms. You can see what it takes, and I'll put these links in the description so that you guys can see what I'm talking about a little bit better and read down it at your own pace and stuff. But basically, what I'm trying to tell you guys is you're never going to be able to guarantee that you're going to get one specific quality. Now, I could be wrong in that, but after playing with it for some time, I've come to the realization that these random qualities and arbitrary qualities, and even the difficulty of your server, all play into what quality you're going to get from any of the supply crates. Like, just made up a modded server not too long ago. I set the difficulty up to like 500. I'm going to purple supply crates and I'm getting Mastercraft blueprints. So like, I haven't changed anything else in the game, just the difficulty level, and it throws off the item quality, like from what you would expect, pretty largely. So that's my little rant on that for right now. So we're going to just say, for right now, qualities, play with them if you want to, but realize you're probably never going to nail them down as much as you would like to. So there's that part of it. Now let's get in here and let's go ahead and edit another crate. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, we're going to hit plus, right? So the little plus sign up here at supply crates, it gives you this little drop down here. Oh, and one more thing before we go any further, be very careful of these save buttons, guys. For right now, and I don't know why, when I click save on any of these supply crates, the file does not write the code into the game INI. Like, for some odd reason, like I said, I don't know why, but for some odd reason it's been doing that to me, which has been driving me insane. So be careful with that. It'd be better to do the editing and come up here and click save. Server 2012 R2, I hate you screen. Anyway, it'd be better to just come up here and click save up here after you do the editing, then that way you don't run into problems. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to say the white double. All right, so you can see that they're labeled island, scorched earth, but we're looking for the white beacon double. All right, and we're going to leave that, and we're going to say that the max sets then becomes 2, and the min sets are 2, so we definitely get 2 groupings. All right, and then you want to add an item set. So this item set we're going to call weapons. This item set we're going to call armor. And we're going to add one more called resources. All right. Now, so we have 3 groupings. We can only get 2. We're definitely going to get 2, and we can only get 2. All right. So we're looking here in weapons. We're going to go ahead and add a item set, and we're going to call it metal weapons. All right. And go ahead and add another one called stone. Whoop, hey, get down in here. You, stone weapons. All right, armor. We're gonna go ahead and create hide, and let's see here, flak. Hide. In resources, we're just gonna create one. We're gonna call it goodies. All right. So now you can see we've got the supply crate selected. It's got its 3 item sets. It's got 2 item sets in that one, 2 item sets in that one. Well, item sets, but item entries, and 1 in that one. So in weapons now, we're going to go ahead and we are going to come down here. We want metal weapons. We're going to add a metal pike. Metal pick. Pick works. think the pike is just called pike. And a metal hatchet. So you can see this is kind of time consuming. Gonna add a spear. Of course, if you're not clicked into it, it doesn't want to do anything for you here. Stone, hatchet, and a stone. Yeah. Now you can see it has the autocomplete, which is nice. It also has a drop-down list. So if you guys can't remember what something's called, it's got the drop-down list of things. So that's always nice. But metal, stone. Alright, so armor. We're going to go ahead and add the flak. We're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be nice if it would auto-select when you click into it, but for some odd reason it doesn't do that. Easy whiz. Learn how to spell, right? Flak leggings. And what do we need yet? Black gauntlets, I think. Alright. Hide. We're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if they used the same names for everything, that would be very helpful as well. Some things are gloves, some things are gauntlets, some things are pants. Alright, so there's that. So those groups are done. Those groups are done. Resources, goodies, and in goodies we are going to put, oh, I don't know, cementing paste. Crystal. Let's do 4. We're going to do 4. Now up in here in goodies, what we're going to do is we're going to say that the minimum quantity is 100, 100. Alright? So we're going to get 100 of this when we get it. It just isn't going to be 25, 25, 25, 25. Alright, so we're going to get, let's just look at it real quick. We're going to get 2 of the item sets. It's either going to be one of these 3 things or 2 of these 3 things. Right? And oh, let's say that the metal weapons, though, we're gonna do a percentage here. We're gonna 25% of the time we want the weapons to give us a blueprint, and 25% of the time. Actually, we're going to do blueprint override for that one, and this one we're going to do 25%. Alright. We're looking pretty good. You know, we've got ourselves a supply crate override taken care of. We're going to go ahead and click save on this. We're going to go to the game files. No, not ARK Server Manager. Jeebus. Alright, we're on the island. Saved, config, Windows Server. I think it's game INI that I need. And let's edit that. Let's make that big. Alright, so you can see right here, this is the code that gets created. So your config files are going to get, your INIs are going to get pretty big. in the long run. But you can see the one that I had done before was this one right here. So this is the regular white that I'm basically mimicking what they have set up. And then you can see over here, config overrides. Right, crystals here, primitive, rare flowers there. So that is all good to go. Alright, so I think what we need to do now is actually start up the server and spawn some of these bad boys in and show you guys what we're working with here. So I'm going to do that and I'll bring you guys back when we're on the island. Alright guys, we are on the island. I've got some supply drops, learn how to talk, coming in. Wanted to show you guys really quick the command lines. You can cheat summon the supply crates, basically cheat summon supply crate underscore level 03 underscore C would be the single underscore double underscore C would be the double. So I went ahead and dropped a couple of those bad boys. And this is just a testing server. I just brought myself out here. And you guys have been here before if you've been watching the tutorials. So you can see right now we got a metal pick and we got hide pants. Now we're only going to get one in the doubles. We're only going to get one of each of those groups because we did not change the amounts, right? Oh, hey, you, okay. All right, we got a metal hatchet, and you see here, now I didn't change the qualities, I don't think. So you can see we got a higher quality level there, which is kind of weird. All right, and you can see here in the singles, we just got ourselves the small shanty stuff and a Fiomia saddle. And again, the Fiomia saddle quality is ramshackle, which is again kind of weird. So you don't really know what you're gonna get with those. And we'll go back and double check the quality settings here after we do a little bit more spawning here. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn a few more of these in, and then I will bring you guys back when I will bring you guys back when we can check them out. Alright guys, the supply crates are starting to touch down. I went ahead and spawned 3 more of each. We'll come in here and look at them. So yeah, we got the resources in that one. That's all pretty good. Yeah, you know, let me look at you. Huh? Let me look at you. I want in. Regular Fiomia saddle. Come on. Alright. And again, we got the resources in this one, and you can see it's definitely a mix of resources, and it doesn't, the numbers don't add up to what you kind of would have expected, but it's pretty good. Alright, this one we got some resources. You can see we got 2 different groups. We got the rare flowers, and you can see that all of that adds up to 100, but it is not 100. And again, we got a metal pick at apprentice quality. So we're gonna have to go back and look at the server settings and see if we changed any of the qualities. I'm pretty sure that we didn't. So you like I said, you just don't really know what you're gonna get with the qualities when you do this. But we'll double check. All right, and see here we got blueprints. So the 25% chance of blueprints are working, and it's really looking like it wants to give us apprentice a good bit. Which, man, I ain't gonna complain about, you know? I like better quality stuff. And here we got the grouping of the cementing paste and silica pearls. You can see the numbers again are different than the numbers were the last time. And we got a hide hat. Just regular, primitive hide hat. And I'm not gonna be able to move. Oh, I can move. It's amazing. But it doesn't really matter, because we're gonna drop all this stuff. It's just test server. You can see I was testing, like, the item qualities before. And I mean, I was setting the item qualities to like 7, and I was getting everything from ramshackle to ascendant. So it's one of those things that's kind of, I mean, you're just gonna have to play with the numbers, and I've been playing with the numbers for a good bit, and still can't find anything like 100% certain. Like, this is the last round of testing I did, plus, oh, is the bag still here? No. I dropped a bag, and it had a lot of stuff in it, but it looks like it's already decayed. What? Yeah, it must have already decayed. But yeah, the item quality is a bit weird. So we're gonna go back to the server and check on some things, just to make sure I didn't type in the wrong box. And we'll be back as soon as I get back into the server manager. Alright guys, so we're back in the ARK Server Manager, and I'm just checking over things really quickly, just to make sure I didn't have a little mess up somewhere, which happens. But we got a ramshackle saddle, right? I did not change the qualities at all in the ramshackle, or in the saddles. So the white double drop, the weapons didn't change, armor didn't change, so none of these qualities have changed. So that just shows you how, like, different the quality levels are. Like, when you start messing with these quality multipliers, then you really start getting unpredictable results. It's unpredictable not touching them. But yeah, I mean, if you really wanted to make sure that you got better quality stuff, you could start playing around with upping the quality multipliers and the quality stuffs. But I mean, you can see I spawned in that many crates, and I was getting apprentice out of a white drop. Alright, but yeah, so those things aren't... the quality, that is where you guys are going to run into needing to tweak here and there. As far as adding goes, it's relatively just straightforward and easy. You know, you add, you drop, you pick the beacon or supply crate that you want to edit. You add item sets to it. You add item entries to it. Whoop, gotta select one though. And basically you add items to that item entry. Now with the white beacon, the white beacon double, what I really should have done is come down through here and said, you're gonna pick 2 of these sets, and see, I was getting 1 weapon and I was getting 1 piece of armor. I should have come down in here and I should have said that in metal weapons, it should have been a min-max of 1 to 3, basically. So it would say, hey, randomly you're gonna get 1 to 3 of these metal items. You know what I mean? It's a rabbit hole, guys. Once you start going down the rabbit hole, it gets a little crazy. I mean, you can see just from the code itself, to mimic the white drop is rather large. So it'll really become up to you guys how far down that rabbit hole you want to go. Do you want to basically have as much control as humanly possible over that supply crate? Do you want to have it be like truly random and a lot of items, kind of like the original crates do? Then you're going to be looking at a chunk of code that's like that long. I mean, it's huge. And that is just to mimic the white crate. I mean, the good news is most of it's done in drop downs and stuff like that through ARK Server Manager. So, you know, you don't have to worry about sitting here and typing this out. I can't even imagine sitting here and typing this out. Like, I would, oh my good grief, you know, you do it once and you get a quotation mark wrong, and by the time it was all said and done, you'd probably hate life. So that's even a lot of times why I recommend this ARK Server Manager, is it does make these things a lot easier. It takes time to, you know, to mimic these white, like the white drop. This drop itself took me a good bit of time to actually get in, but nowhere near as much time as it would have taken to do it manually. So guys, I hope this gets you started. I hope that I explained it well enough that you guys can understand and find it helpful. If not, I mean, I've been getting a good many questions about some of the videos and stuff on YouTube. Feel free to leave comments, guys. Comments, questions, concerns, complaints. I will try to help you out as best I can in between, you know, work and other recording and stuff like that. But I do my best to try to get back to you guys and help out as much as I can. If you guys want to, you know, message me on Twitter or whatever, then that would be great too. I'm on Twitter. Link is on the channel, and we'll go from there. But guys, like I said, I hope you found the video helpful. If you did find the video helpful, consider smashing that like button for me, guys. And of course, consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed as of yet. If you guys have some friends that are, you know, trying to, oh, I don't know, set up their own servers and stuff, and you think these videos are good and helpful, feel free to share them. I would appreciate that. It would be greatly appreciated. And as always, guys, I hope to see you on the next video. I'm thinking the next video that I do will be the dino spawns, the map spawner overrides. I'm thinking this will be the next video I do, so I hope to see you there.